Okay. Game 1 between... Let's see who these players are. Jake and Lex. So, in the blue, we do have Lex Stan, Silver Cobalt. And in the red, we have Jikoyski, Jake Catulpos. I believe these are two newer players, but let's see what... Well, the influx of... Well, mobile has brought in so many new players to this game, and I'm just really for it, honestly. I'm really happy that this game has come out to more people. But yeah, let's observe their teams. We do see that Lex here, Silver Cobalt, does have the Scrafty and Scovillain, an interesting rain team. But Jake here also has a rain team with that Mega Swampert. So I'm genuinely curious how they're gonna play this game out. Game 1, the 5th midweek smoke will finally commence. So Jake will be sending out a very tried and true lead of Pelipper and Archaladon, whereas Lex will be sending out the Scovillain and the Scrafty. Now the question is, who does he want to Mega Evolve? All bets are off. But yes, this actually neither of the Pokemon on Jake's side are actually afraid of getting hurt, especially. But I don't think Archaladon would appreciate getting reach-seeded by Scovillain. At the same time, Scrafty does have Fake Out there and Drain Punch to threaten the Archaladon as well. But Pelipper can always just punch back with a very, very powerful Hurricane here. But we will be seeing that Lex will be Mega Evolving his Scovillain here, getting that very, very nasty burn chance each time the spicy spray. But both of the Pokemon on Jake's side will be protecting themselves. So, okay, Fake Out will be coming in. Fake Out will be coming from the Scrafty, and it will be attacking their Chaladon. Both Pokemon actually going for their Chaladon here. And both of them hitting nothing because the Protect has... Well, the Protect was there. Their Chaladon was just protecting itself. I'm seeing that there's still issues with the sound. Let me change that real quick. Okay, so we've reduced it slightly. So, okay, the Pelipper here still has a very good chance to just turn this around for Jake. But both Scrafty and okay, he just avoided. Scovillain will be using a Leech Seed into their Archaladon. Like I said earlier, while this Archaladon can just stay on the field for a very, very long time, it is not able to withstand massive damage from the Leech Seed. But Throat Chop going into the Pelipper, not doing too much, but this Hurricane is going to hurt. And hurt it has. It hurt it so hard. It hurt that Scrafty so hard that it's a little confused. It put it in the air and sent it all the way down. So audio is still a little too loud apparently. Reducing it further. So let's get back to it. The Scovillain here, I think he just really... This Scovillain is in a position to just keep on using Leech Seed here and to just keep on keeping health back. But Lex will be pulling back his Scrafty here and sending out his own Archaladon. Draco Meteor coming from Jake's Archaladon, and it will be crashing straight into that Scovillain, but it survived. Special attack drops very significantly for that Archaladon. It is now burnt, and it has... Oh, it also has the Life Orb, so it will be taking recoil damage. Along with that recoil damage, it will be getting its health sapped down by Leech Seed, and this Scovillain will probably be able to just heal itself up before this keeps up. The Hurricane will be going into the former Scrafty slot, hitting that Archaladon, allowing it to get a stamina boost. And yeah, leftovers will be healing the Archaladon on Lex's side. And here we go, the Leech Seed coming from... Okay, so audio errors once more, just correcting ever so slightly. Wait, there was a team sheet? Okay, I'll have to check this. Sorry, everyone. I'll have to be right back. But please enjoy the rest of the match. There were several issues I had to clean up. I hope the audio is not too loud and it's not too frustrating anymore. But let's see where we left off here. We see that Lex's Scoville has finally fallen. And I saw that the auditor, the other Archaludon on Jake's side, did go for another Draco meter. It should be at -4 for special attack. And this Crafty coming back in here. Takeout pressure is once again live for Lex. So let's see where he snaps. Will he be smacking into the Archaludon here? At the same time? Not exactly. Jake here will be going for an Electro Shot, and I believe it will be straight into that Scrafty. Scrafty comes in and tanks it like a boss just because of those special attack drops, and this Life Orb will be hurting that Archaludon a little more than it would have wanted to. Here did not go for a fake out though. Alex's own Archaludon will be going for its own Electro Shot. It will be hitting the little teacup that could, or rather the little matcha cup that could. The Sinistra on Jake's side will be hitting matcha cup that actually hurt. Scrafty hangs on for dear life. So yes, Scrafty will be hanging on here just a little bit more. But the more interesting thing is I don't think this Archaludon on Jake's side has been hurt much. I saw that just having defense drops, it whittled AP down to almost half with just the chip damage, the leech seed, the kill. And it will be seeing another turn because the Scrafty will be hitting it with that drain punch. It was all calculated. The survive there for the Matcha Gotcha, no burns. Luck appears to be on Lex's side here, but with so few turns. So with only 2 turns rather of rain left, and this Archaludon on Lex's side not able to use Electro Shot into the Swampert. Swampert, all it has to do here is Mega Evolve. One of the newer Pokemon you introduced in Regulation exactly. Mega Swampert does have the Swift Swim ability. So what that means is any Pokemon with Swift Swim in the rain will in fact have its speed doubled. Swampert isn't exactly the fastest Pokemon in the field, but oh, it is fast. This bulky creature in the rain will absorb as a Mega Evolve Spear. Normally, you'd want to Mega Swampert actually does not want to be in the face of a Sinistral, but in this case, Sinistral being its partner, no Sinistral on the opposing side, yes please. Sinistral will be using Rage Powder as their Chaladon protects, and Gym Guy, the Swampert, this very buff, powerful man, will be using Earthquake, hurting this Pascue Legion, showing it exactly why it hits the King of Flame. Yes, we will be. Sorry, I'm just going. There are several issues. This is a big tournament. Okay. This is a big tournament. I am still going to 1 sec. I will have to leave the casting again. But yes, please enjoy the rest of this match. Sorry again, everyone. But yeah, this is the very first tournament where we have several mobile players. So give us a round of applause let's have a round of applause wherever you are for all of our new players. Let's give all of our new mobile players and newbies coming in. So I hope you're all enjoying competitive Pokemon, and please feel free to just ask any of us, any of the veterans, if you have any issues. But yeah, it was a really solid game earlier on. I wasn't able to commentate on it, but yeah, that Swampert was... It it just wasn't in a great position with the rain finally coming down. So yeah, let's see how this game 2 will be going. Game 1 did go to Silver Cobalt Lex, and Jake's gonna have to think of an adjustment here. Earlier he did with the tried and tested Pelipper and Archaludon, and Lex led with his Crafty and Scovillain. I'm getting really curious who they're going to switch into as their leads for now. Jake will still be leading with Archaludon and Pelipper, but Lex seeing that, okay, maybe he's not going to make an adjustment here, maybe he's going to stick with what he has. Leads with still the Scovillain, but no longer the Pelipper, no longer the Scrafty. He's leading with the Basculegion. Immediately there is a major threat here. This Basculegion is raring to go, but he doesn't really have much targets to hit, sadly. So, yeah, okay, Scovillain will be protecting himself, trying to get a Moody boost. So for everyone who isn't aware, Moody forces you to lose one stat boost, drops one of your stats by one stat, but will boost another stat by 2. So this Scovillain is just fishing for any boost it can before otherwise the world's partner Basculegion will go for a flip turn into the Pelipper and successfully pivot out, sending in the Archaludon. If Jake's Archaludon is charging that Electro Shot and hitting into either of these, goes at the Scovillain, it will not be doing any damage. Hurricane from the Pelipper on Jake's side will also be hitting the defending Scovillain, and unfortunately, it just did not work out for this Scovillain. While its defenses did go up, which is a good boon, but it can no longer do that much damage. It's already raining, so it can't exactly use any of its fire moves. But at the same time, rain reduces your damage by 50% if you have fire. This Scovillain does not have any fire moves. It has Giga Drain, Leech Seed, Rage Dragon, and Protect. And as it Mega Evolves here, I'm just going to guess that's going to go for a Leech Seed. While the defenses did go up, the special defense did not. So it will still be taking all the damage from this opposing Archaludon and Pelipper if they so choose to keep going and hit this Scovillain. Yes, they will be targeting the Scovillain, and this will burn the opposing Archaludon here on Jake's side. And this Pelipper though, we will be seeing the Life Orb chip once more. So for everyone who don't know, Life Orb will reduce your HP by 10% each time your Pokemon successfully hits anything, but it also powers up all of your moves by 30%. Lex will be using his full Electro Shot and firing into that Pelipper, enough to finally knock it out. Extremely effective times 4 damage. There was nothing to report there. Pelipper the reporter, out. Pepper the Scovillain will be using Leech Seed and sapping a little bit of the Auditor Archaludon's HP there. Recovering just a little bit, but just a little bit might be a lot. So Leech Seed does take 12% of your HP and will heal that much on whoever used it. And the Sableye coming from Jake's side, that was not there in the previous game. This Sableye though will be very capable of just supporting its partner Archaludon. It does have Quash. Interestingly, this Sableye does not have screens. This Sableye has Will-O-Wisp, Quash, and Rain Dance. While it's already raining, it can manipulate the turn order with Quash and get surprise KOs with its Shadow Sneak. A very unconventional set for any Sableye, but Will-O-Wisp, on the other hand, while it won't be hurting the Scovillain, it might be able to do some chip damage on the Archaludon, but that's not going to happen today because this Sableye will be going back into its Pokeball to recover, and in its place will be that Swampert. Archaludon on Jake's side, launching the Draco Meteor into that Mega Scovillain. It's already burnt. It doesn't have any special defense boost. It looked at this Mega and said, I think it's time for you to beat it back. Sends it back into its trainer, and yes, while this Archaludon on Lex's side will be able to boost itself once more with Electro Shot, it unfortunately went into the Swampert, an electric type move will do nothing against the ground type. So Lex will be sending out his Scrafty here in the place of that down Scovillain. And the Intimidate though, while normally not very useful against the Archaludon, intimidating the Swampert does allow it not to have as much damage because Swampert is just so powerful in the rain. And we will be seeing that okay, this Swampert is not yet going to Mega Evolve. It's stalling out a little more time. Fake Out will be going into Swampert, but I believe it will remain unthreatened. Jake's Archaludon though will be charging itself up with another Electro Shock. And as its special attack rises, whoever is going to be hit by this will not be a happy camper. This Scrafty, despite all of its bulk, will be taking about 74% of its HP. And while this Archaludon on Lex's side goes for a Draco Meteor, the Swampert is putting up its guard, protecting itself, not taking any damage at all there. And the Auditor, Archaludon, yes, it did take some chip damage, it takes the Leech Seed, it takes the burn. There are just so many things going on with this Archaludon. It may want to switch out at the same time, it may also not. Swampert will finally be Mega Evolving here on this turn. If the Archaludon on its own side goes for a Protect, it can just... Oh, okay, it's not even Earthquake. It's been intimidated, it goes for a Wave Crash while the rain is still up. I believe this is the last turn of rain, so this will force that Teleport to come back in and power it up. Triple Meteor, coming from that very charged up Archaludon on Jake's side, will be launching it into its mirror match. And there will be no Leech Seed damage here as that Archaludon on Lex's side goes down. The final Pokemon here will be... Oh, there's no Pelipper, right? The Pelipper was on Jake's side. The Basculegion will be the last thing coming in for Lex. And, well, Basculegion is gonna have to make a choice here. If it may still be able to survive if it goes for the Archaludon. At the same time, you can't really... The Archaludon will be switching itself out. And this Swampert, while intimidated, it's still a Swampert. Wave Crash in the rain, intimidated, still gets about 51% into this fishy fish Basculegion. Going for a last respects, 200 base power. Immediately brings that Sableye down to its Focus Sash. Unfortunately, it is with a Focus Sash. So this Basculegion is gonna have to do at least 3 moves, survive 3 more turns. And the rain is running out. Quash will be active on the field. Sableye can just very much also go for a Shadow Sneak here. I do not think that is enough. And, well, Swampert in the rain is going to be significantly faster, and Wave Crash just crashes straight into the Basculegion, sending it back to its trainer, winning Jake's game. Apologies, I keep hearing that there is still audio issues. I hope that has been rectified now. There's some issues there. I think I've fixed it slightly. Can anyone in the chat please let me know if that is the case? Oh, apologies. Lex, apparently, I've just learned from the chat after going through it that Lex is a world invitee. So this is a very powerful player indeed. Okay, so I've recalibrated some things on OBS, and I hope that this is enough to clean up the audio. Yeah, we did change several things with the overlays here, so yeah, it's we weren't able to test it completely, but yeah, here we are. So Lex and Jake here going for game 3. We will be seeing game 3 here. Okay, game 3, will there be any adjustments? And Jake will be leading immediately with Swampert and Sableye. Technical difficulties. I hope the sound is now fixed. I've been working on it slowly. So yeah, there will be an adjustment from Jake here with the immediate Sableye and Swampert, but Lex not falling for that. Will be switching out his Archaludon. Well, he led with Scrafty and Archaludon, but now in that Archaludon's place, no, he led with Scovillain and Archaludon, but in that Archaludon's place will now be the Scrafty. Intimidate coming in. This Swampert will be protecting itself. Will-O-Wisp coming from the Sableye just doesn't go through. Giga Drain going for a straight damaging hit into the Swampert will fail because of the protect. So yeah, again, sorry, I'm just trying to see if the audio is finally good. But yeah, this Swampert will be successfully protecting itself. But that might not be the case in the following turn. OJT, the Sableye, does have Quash, so if it chooses to Quash into this very spicy pepper, but at the same time, this pepper does have Rage Powder, so it can force this Swampert into attacking it, and then just get the revenge immediately after. There is also no rain available on Jake's side, so that's gonna be a little dicey. And the Pelipper will be coming in, bringing in the rain. Like I said earlier, there was no rain, and now there is. Oh, Rain Dance coming from the Sableye. Not exactly a optimal play there, but that was interesting to say the least. Throat Chop will be hitting that Sableye, and Giga Drain will be hitting the incoming Pelipper. Well, this Pelipper still has the capability to threaten both of the Pokemon on Lex's side with very super effective Hurricanes here, but I'm not so sure what this Sableye is going to do. Of course, it can go for a Will-O-Wisp here into the Scrafty, but at the same time, it's not exactly in the best position. Of course, it can go for Quash here to ensure that the Pelipper goes first, but that remains to be seen. The Scrafty will be switched out for the Archaludon, and the Sableye will be switched out for also the Archaludon. Both Archaludons have now entered the game. So, yes, this Scovillain is protecting itself, just trying to make sure that it's not gonna get hurt more than it actually will. Swampert will do a ton of damage, and rather Swampert, the Pelipper with Hurricane will do a ton of damage. But the Auditor here, no boosts into its own special attack, will be going for Draco Meteor into its opposing Archaludon, and the Archaludon on Lex's side manages to survive ever so slightly with 10% HP remaining. And this Archaludon on Lex's side will be going for Electro Shot, probably gonna hit straight into this Pelipper. And yeah, Pelipper will be forced to take that hit. The Sash, or was there a Sash there? No, it was a Damp Rock Pelipper. Well, it would never have survived that hit regardless. This Scovillain will be using Leech Seed into the Archaludon once more. This Archaludon is just It is just bait for this Scovillain to just keep on using its own Leech Seed. And remember, this Archaludon on Jake's side has lost 2 boosts. It is now at -2. It's lost 2 stages of its special attack. It will not be able to do as much damage as it were on a normal day. This Swampert, though, not in the best position considering the Scovillain, but you never know. Swampert is powerful enough to do so much damage. In the rain, Wave Crash might just be enough to take out Scovillain here. And we know that the Archaludon on Jake's side is slightly faster than the Archaludon on Lex's side. From previous interactions, it's always gone first. And yes, we will be seeing this Swampert finally Mega Evolve. And it will be protecting itself, actually. Rage Powder coming from the Scovillain. Whatever this Archaludon chooses to do. Okay, so Jake's Archaludon is now trying to boost itself up, just trying to get just a little more damage that it can. Going for an Electro Shot and with a Rage Powder, that will be going into the Scovillain. Scovillain takes a little bit of damage here, about 19%. But remember, Scovillain is in a very, very nice position here after using Leech Seed on that Archaludon. This Archaludon will be getting burn damage, Life Orb damage, and possibly Leech Seed damage if it manages to survive this Draco Meteor, and it really does not. But here's the thing, with the Sableye coming back out on Jake's side, it can very much just use Quash to make sure that Swampert will be able to get a massive hit into the Scovillain. But that still doesn't mean that it still has to fight a 2v4. While not impossible, somebody is going to have to get very, very hurt by the Scovillain. Swampert is not happy getting burnt. The attack drops from burnt. Okay, I wasn't able to explain it earlier, but a burn halves the damage of all of your physical moves, and Swampert is in fact a physical attacker. Lex, seeing the opportunity here, will just force this Swampert into taking more attack drops. It has no way to recover them. He switches out his Archaludon for the Scrafty, while the Scovillain finally gets his opening, uses Giga Drain on that Swampert, taking it out completely. And yeah, down goes Gym Guy the Swampert, unfortunately not able to do very much this game, and we will be seeing that forfeit coming from Jake. Game 1, the very first game, streamed game of Midweek Smoke 5, will be going to the world invitee, Lex.